Hello, everyone. I'm Kaylee, and I'd like to welcome you here today, especially the family members who've journeyed from various states and all of those watching online. Your presence here means the world to us as we honor a great human being whom we all loved so dearly, Daniel Protheroe. This celebration honors his life and serves as a time to remember and pay tribute to everything we cherished about him and the traces of love and beauty he's left in our hearts. Daniel was a profoundly soulful and warm person, driven by creativity. He expressed it through his music, not only his own, but also by helping others bring out the best in their creative process and allowing their music to shine in the world. I'd now like to welcome his nieces, Natasha and Chantel, who will be giving the eulogy.
Daniel was born May 27th, 1952, in San Fernando Valley to his parents Tom and Joyce and sisters Lori and Joan, whom he loved dearly. His parents encouraged and supported his early interest in music, so by the time he was 13 years old, he had impressive skills in playing both bass and guitar. He became part of a band called the Blue Lights, which not only performed as the weekend rock and roll band in Isla Vista in the 1960s, but also gained popularity, leading them to be signed by the UNI Records and Columbia Records. One of his childhood bandmates, Jim Andrun, recently said, "You don't often get focus, drive, and dedication from a 13-year-old, but Dan had that in abundance and really pushed the rest of us to be better as well. I never got the chance to see him and tell him what an influence he had on my life. Rest in peace, my friend. You were one of a kind." When Daniel was only 19, he became a recording engineer at Two Dots Recording Studio in Ojai, when the owner stepped away for a couple of months, allowing Daniel to take charge. Adapting quickly, Daniel realized he had a natural talent for engineering. Over time, Two Dots transformed into Santa Barbara Sound. Daniel became a beloved local recording engineer in Santa Barbara for decades, during which he worked with notable artists like Jimmy Messina, Kenny Loggins, Joe Crocker, and Christopher Cross, among countless others. Around this time, he first met Penny, who would become the future wife. Daniel frequently offered this wise perspective. Many individuals seek perfection before sharing their art or music, which often hinders their ability to begin. Perfection is impossible. Instead, focus on progress. It's more beneficial to view your work as a snapshot of your current artistic skills. While you will keep enhancing your abilities, it's essential to take that initial step and trust in yourself rather than wait the mystical, elusive, perfect moment. Daniel navigated life with an open heart. He pursued a passionate and creative journey, aiming to convey beauty and a wide range of storytelling through his music. Daniel was an extraordinary gift to all. He illuminated the world with his smile and his music. His smile enveloped you like a comforting embrace, and music resonated in your heart. Personal tribute from me. My uncle, a true old soul, pure at heart, kind, quick to laugh, warm and quirky, creative and unapologetically true to himself. I'm in awe daily of the love shared between my aunt and uncle, and the love that extended to my sisters and me. Together, they have inspired a spirit of adventure, an appetite for endless curiosity, and joyful permission to be creative. My uncle wove a spark of joy and laughter throughout every year of his life and was always a safe place and person to call home. He is missed and will always be. We carry him in our hearts from here forward. We love you, Auntie Penny. And I'm deeply grateful for you and Uncle Daniel. Tears with you and sending kisses to his soul. And now my sister will carry the rest of the eulogy.
Aloha, my name is Natasha. Daniel sought to create a calmer life for himself away from the LA studios, the hustle of working late nights, and the demands that came with it. His prayers were answered when he met a member of Marley's Ghost, Ed Littlefield, who offered him an engineering job at Sage Arts in the Pacific Northwest. During their first year of marriage, Penny stayed behind to sell her business. This was necessary to purchase a 5-acre property near the recording studio and began building their dream home. Daniel designed a stunning 3-story work of art. During this time, they welcomed their first pair of cats, Rocket and Orbit, and began their long journey of loving and raising many pets they referred to as family. Daniel dreamed of creating music in a world-class recording studio that showcased everything he had learned about recording, adapted with the finest equipment, while bringing out the best in sound and musicians. Over a decade, he produced numerous drafts of his ideal recording studio, and when Ed Littlefield, the owner of Sage Arts, offered him the opportunity to design and build one, his dreams had finally come true. And Daniel delivered. Unfortunately, Daniel was diagnosed with lymphoma, which led to his retirement after finishing the recording studio. He dedicated 54 years to music and his recording career. He bought a lake house and withdrew from the world to find solace in nature and produce his own music. With Penny by his side, ready to embrace the role of caregiver that lasted for 11 years. Cancer couldn't bring them down. With the loving support of their little dog Indy, they found wonderful ways to keep their family connected and share their creativity through music and photography, right up until the very end. Daniel leaves a legacy deeply intertwined with music, positively impacting many lives through his generosity and love. Evaluating his legacy based solely on his music, albums, or the artists he's collaborated with is challenging. The true measure lies in his profound influence on others. Through his art, Daniel celebrated life and inspired many individuals, from grateful musicians to devoted friends. As a Zen recording engineer, he demonstrated how to unlock everyone's potential. His extraordinary talent uplifts those around him, whether at the recording console or beyond, by supporting both loved ones and strangers. He was exceptionally kind to everyone. Above all, his deep affection for his family and beloved pets was his greatest treasure. It has taken me time to find my own words, not because they are hard to come by, but because no words feel enough for a man like my uncle. He was kindness personified, a steady presence through every season of my life, especially the hard ones. He loved without hesitation, without condition, and always made sure I knew that I was cared for. Even in the midst of his own battles, he gave warmth, laughter, and the kind of love that leaves an imprint on the heart forever. His strength and his kindness and the way he always lifted me up are memories with him I'll carry with me forever. Now my auntie's gonna come and share their love story. Thank you.
Bring me something. Oh, sure, we got it.
I want to thank my family for being here. It means so much to me. Flying here, driving here. It took so much. And my friends, the closest friends that I have, are here. I want to thank Sean, Kaylee, Charlie, who's doing the video. And thank you for bringing me Kleenex, sweetheart. And I really want to give deep appreciation to everyone who's streaming right now. I know that you're maybe all over the world, but majority of you are in Santa Barbara, where he had a long recording career and he started his career there. So thank you for being here. There's a significant void with Daniel not being here, and we all feel it. I've had the incredible privilege of being married to Daniel for 34 years, and he was my better half. Yet he wasn't solely mine. He touched so many lives. He made people feel so special that they were a part of his heart. So he belongs to all of us. Therefore, I want to extend my heartfelt condolences to all of you who feel this loss. I am sorry for your loss. My love story. I first met Daniel when I was turning 19. I started taking voice lessons from a friend of his. I remember thinking how beyond handsome he was, how lucky she was. And a couple years later, while living in a teepee in Ojai, I was organizing a benefit to raise money to feed children in Haiti. And somehow I got Jimmy Messina's phone number, and I asked him if he could perform at this event. And he said, "Not me, but I can volunteer my recording engineer's time," which happened to be Daniel. And I thought, oh my God, the cute guy. I get to meet him again. And there we were. Afterwards, the benefit, he asked me on a date. My heart sank. I hadn't been on a date with Daniel. First time. It was unbelievable for both of us. I fell in love quickly, but at 21, I knew I wasn't ready. And so we both had a lot of growing to do, but he had a career that was launching and I was living in a teepee. So I had a lot to do to, get ready for life. The 10 years that followed us, that separation, I went back to the teepee and I spent a couple years really doing deep soul searching about what real love was about. I knew it had to do with my relationship with God, so I was a seeker. But after meeting Daniel, I knew it had to be with a human relationship, a person that could love you so deeply. And I always had Daniel right in the back of my mind and my heart. So I wrestled with, as a lot of people do, a dark night of the soul, learning what the essence of love is and what's the meaning of life. And all this time while I'm doing this, Daniel's career is skyrocketing in Santa Barbara, and he's taking off and he's launching, and I'm doing my own inner work. He's doing this outer work. Somehow the universe wanted us to meet again. So it actually conspired for us to meet again and telling us it was time. So while Daniel was cleaning out his desk one day, an old card of mine from 10 years prior fell out of his desk. But what's significant is the following day, which happened to be Valentine's Day. He's walking to pay his water bill at the water department. He looks down, there's a check on the ground. He picks it up, and it's mine. My phone number on it. We figure it fell out and blew out of the recycling center and down the street. So with no more messages needed, he knew he should probably give me a call. So he did call on a very, very stormy night. And I had heard through the grapevine that he might have been engaged. So when I went to return his call, I thought, oh, his wife is going to pick up the line. I don't know what I'm going to say. But it was Daniel. Finding out that he'd never married and he was only 1 mile away from where I lived. And we quickly bonded again. We met the very next day. We held hands. It was electrifying. And we quickly fell in love again, even faster than the first time, just knowing that we were not going to let go this time. So it was within a year we were married in Santa Barbara. And it took a little while after that, where actually 10 days after our honeymoon, that Daniel moved up to the Pacific Northwest to start his job with Ed Littlefield and starting recording songs for Marley's Ghost. The thing about being in an epic love story is that you don't know you're in it while it's happening. I knew that I was with a very special human being that I'd ever met, and I knew I wasn't going to let him go again, but I didn't know how fast it would all go. So hold on tight and love the ones you're closest with. That is my deep message that I received. Daniel loved everything about living in the Pacific Northwest. He designed and oversaw the building of our dream house, as Chantel said. He found his niche not only in making music, but he had the longest list of hobbies that knew no bounds. He was always creating gliders, making guitars, boats that he would sail. He was an engineer and a designer. And welcome. So our love flourished and grew, but it encountered tough challenges. As was said, Daniel was diagnosed with cancer. During that 11 years that he battled 2 forms of bone marrow cancer, we would talk to each other about very real conversations. We would write each other, but here's a summary of how we shared our messages to each other. True and to Daniel, he was always wanting to make sure he took care of me while I was wanting to take care of him. But he would say, "Pen, while my condition is getting more real for me every day, I only pray that you see to your own life's demands in the face of my increasing needs. Please take care of yourself and don't allow me to feel guilty about stealing your time. I am truly blessed. I love you." And my response back to Daniel would be something like this, or exactly like this. This is what I wrote Daniel when he was diagnosed with a 2nd form of bone marrow cancer, and this is when we knew the clock was ticking. Please don't feel guilty about anything because you are my everything. You are not stealing my time. Cancer is robbing our precious time. Caring for you is a huge part of self-care. Our souls are puzzles that complete each other. I've only ever and always wanted to be close to you. I truly regret that this closeness is overshadowed by the high cost of cancer. Please ask for whatever you need, and for now, let's cherish every moment with each other and our pets. I guess the sages were right all along. It really does come down to living in the moment. I love you. I've been the most blessed woman to have married you. The world does not see you as I do. It's like I'm married to a beetle, a Gandhi, an angel on earth that you don't even see. Still, God gave me the eyes to see you. Heaven sees you, and I am the luckiest person to get to be in your presence. And enjoy my life with you. I love everything about you. The sound of your voice is soothing and deeply familiar. If we were penguins among thousands of penguins, I would find you by your voice. I love your smell, your beautiful face, your gorgeous deep blue eyes, your big beautiful soul. I love the music you make. It's filled our years of our life with magical lift and depth. How lucky I've been to hear original songs and your exceptional talent. Thank you for making me a snob for quality sound and music. Right? You are loved beyond any words I could write or say. Make music in heaven and I will find you, my love. I love you, Daniel, and I pray that the universe will bring all the forces together so that we are magnetized to each other again. Until then, I'll try to live my life with as much heart and creativity as you taught me. If you now would turn your attention to the monitor, we're going to listen to Daniel's original music. He composed this song. He played every single instrument, and it's called Bar and the String Beings. And thank you.
What an inspiring life and what a beautiful love story. I'd now like to invite Penny's brother Tom up to share a few words.
Good afternoon. We're here to honor my brother Daniel and my friend, all of our friends. The day I met Daniel was 34 years ago at Penny's and Daniel's wedding. I knew right away that Daniel was a very special person and a kind and loving soul, a genuine soul. Two things that Daniel and I had in common was a love for my sister and the love of music. I was privileged enough to come up here and help Penny and Daniel work on their dream house. And it was designed and built by them, and I felt honored to come up here and help them with it. I know my brother Dave also came up here and helped. Daniel showed his appreciation. He took me to a couple concerts. We enjoyed music. We went to a place called The Gorge in George, Washington, which at the time I thought was amazing. And the show was great. I think it was Steely Dan. And then also Daniel wanted to show his appreciation, and he flew me back up a couple weeks later to go to the Rolling Stones concert. And the Kingdom was not known for the best sound. And we sat down and Daniel said, "Give me a minute." And he walked off. And he came back a few minutes later and said, "We're going to change seats." And we all changed our seats. He'd found the sweet spot, which he said, where we could actually hear and listen to the music. So we rocked the night away. It was an incredible night, spent with family and Ed Littlefield. And years later, I was able to work with Daniel again on a project, his family home in Santa Barbara, knowing I had the privilege to know his father and his sisters. Joan actually worked for us for a couple years, so I saw her 5 days a week. And I really love their family. They're incredible people. I'm proud to have a brother with all these amazing talents that he shared with the world. This is just speaking to everyone. I think we forget that life was never meant to be understood. It was meant to be felt. We spend so much time trying to figure it out, trying to fix it, trying to solve it, control it. But it's not a puzzle. It's a wave. We were never meant to carry it. It's meant to flow through you. The joy, the fear, the heartache, the love. Moments you didn't understand until much later. You were never broken. You were just becoming. So if you're hurting, don't rush to escape it. If you're lost, don't race to find direction. Feel it, all of it, because this is a part of the dance. And now, if you listen close enough, even your pain is trying to teach you how to be alive. I remember once someone asked me, "What's the difference between a good friend and a best friend?" I said, "A good friend knows all your stories, but a best friend helps you make them." Grief never ends. It changes. It's not a place to stay. It's not a sign of weakness or lack of faith. It's the price of love. Remember, always be present. Cherish every moment. We can't control everything, but things will work out. The path to peace begins with gratitude. Appreciate what you have. You have two choices in the morning. Either go back to sleep and continue dreaming, or get up and realize your dreams. In case no one has told you lately, you are loved, you are amazing, you are strong, brave, wonderful, kind, and there's no one like you, and the world needs you. I'm talking to everyone. All my best memories of my life are with family. I love you all. May God send angels to protect you.
Thank you, Tom. That was very well said. We now have a couple of tributes from people who could not be here. The first being from Tom Ball, and Craig will come up and read that tribute.
All right. Okay. I first met Daniel about 45 years ago in Santa Barbara. At the time, he had a reputation as the finest recording engineer in the area. So Kenny Sultan and I hired him to engineer a Levi's jean commercial we had been contracted to do. We knew Daniel would do a superb job with it. But what we didn't know was what an enjoyable and fun experience it would be. We liked him so much and respected his work so highly that he ended up recording and co-producing our next 5 albums, plus 2 of Kenny's solo records. But let's not forget that the career that Daniel chose, or better stated, the career that chose him, can also sometimes be fickle. Emily Dickinson said, "Life is a beautiful melody, only the lyrics are messed up." Not for Daniel, though. Through perseverance, and a ton of sheer talent, he always managed to make it work beautifully, for himself and for all of us who were fortunate enough to work with him. His talent was undeniable. His passion was absolutely infectious, and his optimism and humor were boundless. Of course, I am deeply saddened he has left this plane, but on the other hand, I'm also a bit surprised that the musical angels waited so long to be in his presence. Thanks, Daniel, for everything. Through your physical embodiment, had to bid us goodbye. The music you captured and made will live on. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Before I share the next tribute, is there anyone that wants to come up and share anything else? Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Daniel and Penny's neighbor up the street, and one day he approached me. I'm an electrician, and I work in that field, and he saw my service van, and he just kind of stopped by, said he had some projects down here at the house, and so came down and did quite a bit, did that building. And from there, 25 years probably, Penny, have known him and done several things. He was instrumental in getting our company the privilege to wire the studio at the Littlefield project, which was very intense. Daniel was a stickler for the right sound, and hence they called him Daniel the Ear Protheroe. And to me, it seemed kind of odd, but once I started to understand the concept of the studio and how the studio works, it started to be a little more clear. And so, knowing Penny and Daniel for so long, it's been a privilege, and I appreciate him. I appreciate who he was, Penny, who you are, and thank you guys for letting me come up here, and he'll be missed, but not forgotten.
Thank you. This is a tribute from Danny Wheatman, who is a member of Marley's Ghost. What can I say that all of you here don't already know? Daniel was a singular and very special human being. His talent in music and music production were second only to his heart and his soul in friendship. I met Daniel at my friend and bandmate's, John's, wedding. They had just met, and he offered to come and run the sound for the party. Marley's Ghost played, and that was the start of a long, wonderful relationship. A year or so later, Daniel moved to Washington and took over the studio at Ed's farm. Together, we recorded 8 or 9 CDs with the band, and he and I recorded 3 of my solo albums. He asked us to play at his wedding, such an honor. As good as that sounds, it doesn't touch the surface of the bond of friendship that grew between us, the musical and personal growth, the deepening of the understanding. Like all of you, I can't put into words what all that meant and what it still means to me. His work in the studio was like the work in his relationships. You could learn from him for support, you could lean on him for support, and he was ready to go down any rabbit hole you chose to dive into. My life, like yours, is richer for knowing him, and my heart is filled with joy and sorrow. Our brother Daniel, may you soar through the ethers like your beloved remote control planes, keeping an eye on all of us from above. Journey on, my friend. There's power in symbology that can touch our souls, sometimes deeper than words. Therefore, we will now plant a memorial tree, which invites all of us to contribute to making this sacred moment. We'd like to invite Penny's brothers, Dave and Tom, to plant that special tree together. As they root this tree into the earth, their great niece and nephew, Cherish and Pa'a, will pass out the silk ribbons and stones. Once you have your ribbon and your stone, I invite you to take a moment to bring the ribbons and stones close to your heart. Breathe deeply and infuse them with your thoughts, prayers, wishes, or any unexpressed messages you have for Daniel. And then as you're ready, we invite you to come up and tie those lovely ribbons to the twine while keeping the stone as a beautiful reminder of your love for Daniel and of this celebration of life. Holding this memory in your hearts.
separately and then it switches.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you all for taking part in this beautiful symbolism. Let's cherish this wonderful memory together always. A few months before Daniel's passing, he composed a song for Cat Django's memorial. Penny shared that it felt like he was writing that song for himself and to comfort those left behind. Alicia will now come up and read the lyrics to that song. I'm happy to just come close to the mic.
Okay, here we go. On and on across the universe. Breathe it in. Oh, breathe it out. You won't have to feel that pain much longer. To where you are from where you've been, it's time to rest now. Oh, and just surrender. Flying across the universe, walking on the sands of time, swimming in that cosmic sea. Just keep moving on and on and on. You'll find places never seen. All you need to do is just surrender and just let go of everything. You'll find true love always keeps on returning. Flying across the universe, walking on the sands of time, swimming in that cosmic sea. You just keep moving on and on and on and on. Across the universe, on and on, walking the sands of time, on and on. Dive into that cosmic sea. True love just keeps returning. Just surrender. Let it all go. You'll find wonders you've never known. On and on and on. Such beautiful words.
Thank you, Alicia. Those words were indeed beautiful. Even as Daniel's health declined and restricted his activities, he persisted in his creative endeavors until the end. When climbing the stairs to the lake became impossible, he turned to his camera to capture the wildlife and sunsets, which filled him with great happiness. Featured here is a video that displays his photography paired with the music he composed and performed himself, titled My Front Porch. The second video showcases the final song he wrote and sang, called Angel Dreams. We can now turn our attention back to the screen, and we'll enjoy those videos.
see if I can do this here. An angel came into my dreams last night. Told me not to worry about a thing. She had eyes that lighten up the night as she sang songs of joyous things. Angel told me it would turn out alright. There was no reason to despair. She let me know it'd be a brutal fight, but my life could be repaired. Ta-da!
Ta-da, right? What a precious song, precious man we love so much. Can you hear me okay? All right. I do a lot of writing these days, and I always ask this automatic writing, just when you write as quick as you can, like, where are you? How are you? What is happening? Give me a sign. So sometimes messages come through, and sometimes I just think it's me and hoping for the sweetest of messages. And one time this really very serene, very calm, very beautiful message came through, and Daniel, this is what I heard him say, or what I wrote. Heaven is just what you think it is. Bliss, oneness, wholeness, pain-free, connected, always love, always pure, always energy everywhere, in everything. We are always connected in love. And then was the message. So we are always connected in love. We love you, Daniel. This Holy Father, Mother, God, Holy Spirit, and Jesus, just thank you for this moment. Thank you for this tribute in time. We offer up this incredible, sacred moment, this celebration of life to you, that you honor it more than we could even exemplify, offer to you, that you increase it in the heavens, and bless Daniel even more, wherever he's at, and wrap him up in the love that we feel for him. Let him carry it with him and know that we carry him with us. And we just say this prayer in your name, Lord Jesus, and thank you for all of you for being here and all of you streaming. Amen.
Thank you, everyone, for coming, and for those of you that joined online. And thank you, Daniel, for helping us shift the weather to this beautiful day. If you want to enjoy some snacks and refreshments and just hanging out and soaking up this love together, thank you.